Hi guys, so today we're going to be looking at the story of the 14-year-old boy who sued his UK parents for sending him to boarding school in Africa. The report had it that he lost the case as against his parents. It was also said that while in court, he seemed a bit shy, he was very articulate with his words, he was ever ready to cook, and he is also a footballer. He claimed that his parents tricked him into going to Africa with the mind of going to visit a sick relative. Also, he said, had I known I was being sent to boarding school, there would have been no way I would have agreed to it. The High Court in London, who were already aware of the fact that his parents were worried he was being groomed into criminal activities and as well as feared for his safety in London. Remember all the loss of lives in London with young boys. So this made the judge, Mr. Justice Hayden, in his statement to say, I recognize this in many ways. It's both sobering and rather depressing conclusion. However, I'm satisfied that the parents wish for their son to move to Ghana was driven by their deep, obvious and unconditional love. He concluded by saying the boy was at risk of suffering greater harm returning to UK. His judgment was also based on the fact that there have been so many fishing involvements of this boy with gang culture, and he has also exhibited an unhealthy interest in 𝐀𝐫𝐭𝐒𝐜𝐢𝐞𝐧𝐜. I hope you get what I mean. This boy's father confidently told the judge after his statement, he said, Judge, look, I and my wife do not want our dear son to be yet another teenager, slegalbattle, I hope you get what I mean, to death in the streets of London. No, never for our son. While his mother turned to him and said, sending him to Africa was not a punishment, but a measure to protect him. And Judge, remember the case of the Kenyan Bokassa, the 14-year-old boy who was slegalbattle to death in the bus in Woolwich in January. That was every parent's nightmare. Then she went further to say, I do not believe my son would survive in UK, and I do not want to be part of my son's destruction. While their son on the other hand was crying, for people are mocking me and I'm not even settled in this school. I can barely understand what's going on and I'm getting into fight every now and then. Please remember, I am British and I have lived in London, England all my life. I really want to go back home. I have been mistreated at this school. Please, I'm begging to go back to my old school, he cried. Oh. The father's lawyer, Rebecca Foltz, also added that the boy met 11 points on a checklist produced by the children's charity NSPPC to indicate whether a child might have joined a gang or was being criminally exploited. One of the points claims he's been absent from school. Another claims he's been seen severally having unexplained money. He's also been seen buying new stuff and carrying WEAPONX. Rebecca went on to say, look, it was not only his parents that were worried about him. His school was worried as well. In fact, the school claimed they had suspicions about him engaging in criminal activities and had as well observed him in expensive clothes and with mobile phone. Guys, at this point, denied all the claims by stating, I have never been part of any of a gang nor involved in gangs in any way, and I do not know anyone involved in a gang, and I do not carry a KNIFE. I hope you understand what I mean. He also went further to say, I know my behavior wasn't the best, that this case was centered on the question of his parental responsibility and whether the parents acted unlawfully by sending their son to boarding school without his consent. So in a statement issued after the judgment, his parents said, this has really been a difficult time for us all. I can imagine. Our priority has always been protecting our son, and our focus now is moving forward as a family. His lawyer, James Neto, said to the court judgment has been a real shock to him. I can imagine as well. James also said he was obviously incredibly disappointed. He was incredibly upset and he's considering his next steps carefully. Dear parents, can you now see that the legal system in the Western world does not only favor the child like we all believe or think? Some of you fear disciplining your child because you feel, if my child reports now, I'll be in trouble as a parent. And because of this, you are now afraid to discipline your child, especially your grown-ups. And especially because some of them, they threaten you with, I'll call the police for you, I'll call the police now. And because of this threat, you are now handing your parental authority to your child because of fear. I hope this case reminds you that you have a right to keep your children safe from any form of harm. You have the right to use discipline, not punishments, to take the foolishness away from your child before they get out of control. One of the aims of the legal system in the Western world is to balance the rights and responsibilities of parents, as well as ensuring the best interest of the child. Meaning, these parents sending their son to Africa was to his best interest and never to intentionally separate a child from their parents, or except they perceive any form of abuse from the parent. So dear parents, please discipline your child and train them in the way they should go. Also, this is not to say that you should be sending your children back to Africa for any of their misbehaviors, because Africa will not do the training for you. And remember, it is our responsibility as parents to train our children in the way they should go. No one can play this role better than you would do in the life of your children. If it's a case of life and destiny, wisdom requires you move your child away from that unhealthy environment. Also, according to the judge, he said he was satisfied the parents sent him to Africa and that it was driven by their deep, obvious and unconditional love. You see this word unconditional love? It does not only mean showing them love in difficult situations or also helping them get out of the trouble they put themselves in. It also means having the wisdom to take some drastic decision when needed. And lastly, also I will encourage his parents to put his well-being into consideration, especially with the fact that he's complained of being mistreated, of not settled in school, he complained of being mocked, and most importantly, I will encourage them to have a one-on-one conversation with him and explain to him why they took the decision, and as well as assure him that everything will be okay and connect with him the more to establish a strong relationship. So guys, what do you think about the judge's judgment? Do you think that was a fair one? If that boy was your child, would you send him back to Africa? And what would you have done differently? Please leave all your thoughts down in the comment section. I'd like you to like this video and share it so other parents can see it, and remember to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. And in my next video, I'll look forward to seeing you. Bye for now.